Over the past 14 months, it's been fascinating to watch things go from bad to horrible as T'Challa, the Black Panther, has started to lose his grip on Wakanda due to the fact that a sleeper cell program fronted by T'Challa's one-time friend Jhai has now turned into a terrorist organization behind the scenes of Wakanda. And the people of Wakanda largely have blamed T'Challa for sort of lying and not being forthcoming with some of the military strategy that he's been undergoing up in the Black Panther series. My name is Ariko Braddock, and today let's go ahead and just see how bad things get for T'Challa in the pages of Black Panther number 15, the final issue of John Ridley and German Peralta's interesting run on the Black Panther title from Marvel. But before we dive deeper into the video, I want to go ahead and encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button if you enjoy our content. And I want to introduce this Black Panther finale by reading Marvel Comics' solicitation text for the issue. The epic finale of John Ridley's game-changing run. Finally, all things must come to a head. Jhai, T'Challa's best friend and the sleeper agent whose assassination served as the catalyst for all of T'Challa's recent troubles, is alive. Not only is he alive, but he seeks to seize control of the entire world, all in the name of Wakanda. Still injured, Black Panther rushes forward to take down the man who was once his closest comrade, but T'Challa knows he must still pay his pound of flesh for his role in bringing so much strife to fruition. And let's go ahead and introduce the creative team behind Black Panther 15. This one is written by John Ridley, illustrated by German Peralta, colored by Jesus Aburtov, and lettered by VC's Joe Sabino. Plus, we have a cover over from Alex Ross that I want to go ahead and show off right now from Marvel. I really like the way that these sort of panther is directly eating T'Challa in this image, or sort of has him in its mouth. I think it's just a great way to show how far T'Challa has, fallen throughout the pages of previous Black Panther titles. And I just love that sort of thematic introduction from artist Alex Ross over on the series. And I want to quickly thank Adventures in Poor Taste for posting this preview so fast, and talk a little bit about the wonderful artwork in the issue from German Peralta. Peralta is such a stylized artist at Marvel that has this sort of kind of pencil set that's really like no other artist in the industry. I love the sort of like curved lines, expressive angles, but I think Peralta strikes a really fascinating balance between being an expressionistic artist that's sort of very out there with little lines and page design, as opposed to making sure that the story is always clear no matter which page of the issue you're looking at. Also, I think Peralta is really great at drawing like extremely tense facial expressions depending on which page you're looking at over in the series. And I think that Peralta does a wonderful job drawing a really violent sense of action throughout the issue when the chapter calls for it. And also, it's just enjoyable to kind of get somebody who's a little bit more out there and expressive on the Black Panther property as well. I really appreciate the complicated way that Peralta is able to draw all of the people of Wakanda in this issue, and is able to capture just so many different details on the page with such an incredible level of precision throughout the book. Over from John Ridley, I think there's a lot to talk about in Black Panther 15 from a story perspective. While previous issues of the series have almost gotten too dark in the way that I think a lot of Wakanda has reacted to learning about T'Challa's sort of sleeper cell program, and things have sort of escalated to such an intense level that I almost haven't bought into some of the plotting from previous issues. But I really do think that the characterization in the sort of final sequences between Jhai and T'Challa captures so much nuance and sort of animosity between these two characters. And I love the fact that at one point they just sort of give up on all the tension in the issue, and we get to see just a pure sort of, battle of wits between these characters as they sort of describe their different philosophies and points of view with tackling Wakanda. I do think that John Ridley actually ended his run too soon. And I think that if Marvel Comics had more time to develop the character of Jhai within the context of Ridley's run, I think there could have been a lot more utilized with this character. The sort of final moments in here and the conflict that resurgences with the Omolola character is so wonderful. While I'm a little sad to see sort of the end result of what happens to Jai in this series, I really do think that characters in Wakanda like Folasade and Omolola are now way more interesting thanks to all of the really careful plotting that Ridley has lent over to the series. Plus, I love how this issue also kind of comments on the really tense relationship in the series between Namor and T'Challa. I love the fact that Namor and T'Challa have such a strained relationship for such a long time and really sort of plays off of that by easing off the tension a little and actually having Namor help T'Challa in certain instances throughout this issue, which was fascinating to read. And also, by the time the last page of the issue kind of, came around, I realized that there is going to be really different story implications for the next writer of Black Panther, Eve Ewing, who is actually launching a new series very soon over at Marvel. So being able to get such kind of an ambitious status quo for Black Panther that I don't quite want to give away here, and getting it picked up on from Marvel so quickly with a different creative team is a really, really fantastic idea. I think the fact that we get such like a big status quo shift gives a sense of progression for T'Challa, Wakanda, and the Black Panther franchise. And I hope Eve Ewing is able to have a sort of longer run with as much mystery that kind of benefits this property. But also, I really want Marvel to sort of continue utilizing those elements and making sure that the next Black Panther creative team is able to follow up on some of those plot points, because I really enjoy the complicated way that Marvel is kind of setting up Wakanda in these last couple pages over on Black Panther. So those were some of my thoughts over on Black Panther number 15. I thought this was a really solid way to end the series. And it had so many kind of strong emotional moments between T'Challa, Jhai, and some of the other cast members of the issue that I think it was able to kind of go past some of the melodramatic aspects that weighed previous issues of the series down. As we already kind of explored a little earlier in my review, I wish that this creative team would have had a chance to tell a longer story here, because I think the kind of final plot moments could have hit way harder if there was a little bit more buildup to it. But at the end of the day here, I'm really happy with what John Ridley and German Peralta turned in and where they left their Black Panther run, and particularly all of the different story directions and story avenues it gives for Marvel to go ahead and tell their next set of Black Panther series. I really hope that the sort of focus and emphasis that Marvel has given to the Black Panther franchise over the past couple of years, which I know is bolstered through the movies, will continue, because this is such a strong character with such an interesting world. And I really think that Ridley and Peralta did their job in sort of invigorating their character for the next creative team. So I want to know from you, what were some of your thoughts on Black Panther 15 and John Ridley's run on the series as a whole? Do you like German Peralta's art? What were your thoughts on some of his art in the issue? Thank you so much for checking out the video, and we'll be back really soon for more excellent comic book content. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon. Bye.